Welcome to the Sheepless Life podcast. We are your hosts, Yvonne de la Flor
and Séverine Nassens, and we are the founders of the Sheepless Life Academy. Join us at sheeplesslife.com for a free and exclusive masterclass on sheepless living.
We created this podcast for women like you, who are ready and eager to live and lead without the herd mentality.
Women who are ready to be, not who your parents told you to be.
Not who the system expects you to be.
Not who the media wants you to be.
But who you can truly become.
So relax, step out of the herd for a moment.
Grab something to sip on and have a pencil at hand just in case you feel the urge to take some notes.
Let's get the show on the road.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. This is podcast number 28 of the Sheepless Life Academy, and today we have a fun topic, and it's called Life is a Musical. On this end of the microphone, Séverine Nassens from Cancun, and on the other side we have the amazing Yvonne de la Flor in Las Vegas. Yvonne, how are you doing today?
I'm dancing to the musical of technology right now, which I practically, a dear friend and an ally of life, that's how we call them. We need to do a podcast of that. Katerina Satori always jokes with me, and I joke with her that I don't have technology codes activated. So learning to dance in this musical of media, Facebook, Spreaker, iHeartRadio, iTunes, Skype, all of these venues to be able to deliver a message. So, and thank you for the amazing. Every week you introduce me like that, and that just reflects the amazingness in you. So, hi, everyone.
Oh, hi. Well, yes, indeed. We are dancing to the tunes of technology, and they're upbeat and changing constantly, and sometimes challenging, sometimes fun, and so is life. And as the title of this podcast said, life is a musical. And the reason why we want to put this topic out is, first of all, there's an amazing musical movie out, Bohemian Rhapsody. I don't know, have you seen it, Yvonne?
I haven't. I thought you were going to say another one. Look at my musical. My musical came today with assumptions. No, I haven't seen it.
Well, I have, and I invite you to go out and see. I won't spoil it for you, so I'll just leave it at that. But it's an amazing way of portraying the life of someone is through music, and I think that once we gain control, we take control of our own life, we become the directors of our own orchestra, of our own musical, filled with emotions, filled with experiences, with moments that become musical pieces. And I think throughout the ages, especially what calls me a lot is the classical music. If you see the work of Chopin, for example, you can actually feel what he was feeling at the time of writing his music, and it's something that makes us connect. The vibrations in the music make us either feel better or feel worse, because there's different within the different types of music, different vibrations that go on. They put us in different states, and we can use music to change states. One of the amazing people that you also work with is Grace Terry. She's a great solfeggio. She's a great artist and also healer through the music. So I think that the topic for today has a lot to share about.
Wow, that was a full orchestra. I love it. That's what you say. We need to be the directors of our own orchestra. And also in the process, art is movement. Music is flow. Every single intention, every single thought, every single word, every single action of our own creation, it's either a note on the musical scale of consciousness. It's also the participant that is going to be dancing in that creation. It's going to also be what we impute into what we want to see played back by the musicians, which are our life, our family, our stories, which is life itself. So we kind of, with our intentions, with our choices, with the way we take responsibility for our creation, end up and begin to be the director of our own symphony, our own musical, and imputing in it exactly the quality type of music that we want to live, hear, become, and dance to, and sometimes cry to, or sometimes get pissed off to. One of you speak about Chopin. I love Beethoven. I love Beethoven. I love Rachmaninoff, which is very intense and very
Yes.
like wow, the deep passion. And I also love Mozart. And so when you are using them as we went very fancy, when we use them as models of creating symphonies, create musical pieces that transcend time. We can use that as a metaphor for the humankind, for human
Yes.
minds, for human actions. So I like the playful nature of this name of the podcast because life being a musical, there's a component of joy. And
Yeah.
that we added a quote on the announcement of today's podcast of Rumi, right? That when there is love, when lovers are present, when people are loving, every single wall of your house becomes a song, the floor it's movement, everything becomes a dance at the beat of the tune of intention of love. So in the musical of our lives, if we embrace every second, every note, every piece of information with love, whether it's hard moments, whether it's challenging, I mean, you and I, for example, went through a very intense training, transcendental rebirthing, and the integration time is like it's like the four seasons of Vivaldi.
Yes.
You have the winter, you have everything, but it's beginning to like for me as a teacher I take a lot of time to reintegrate and regroup and take myself to the next level always. I kind of go more into silence afterwards, but when I feel those integrations I also feel the peace, like a soft melody, like a Vivaldi four seasons kind of music. It begins to be integrated in the body and the music of the soul begins to play results, and the music of our actions, of our intentions begins to show us where we're at now, and we can start being appreciative of the joy that the music of our intentions and choices bring into our life, and letting go of the old songs that no longer fit into the new musical that we want to design in our futures. I think I ranted. What do you
Wow.
think?
No, I think I'm sitting here with my jaw dropping. It's amazing that you just mentioned it, the process that we went through in TR. It's exactly what I've been going through. It's been up and then down, and it's been Bach. And then Chopin came back through. And then I went into Mozart. And then I went into a complete rant. And then I fell down and I stood up and I started dancing. And but once you start flowing with all of that and you start enjoying it, even the dark moments, I try to even find enjoyment in the dark moment. It's not that I'm punishing myself or anything like that, but it's just
A
trying.
masochist musical.
Yeah, no, not for me. No, thank you, and no. But it's trying to flow. Once you start flowing with the musical called life, with the ups and the downs, and with the hardships, and with the joy, it becomes all a dance, and you can dance slowly, smoothly, and then you can go in staccato and go tuk 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 really really fast, and
We're really
and
musical
jump with it.
today.
Yes.
I love that. But what you just described is really a musical piece, right? What you just described is when we live in intensity. I love you brought in these representations. You brought in the Chopin. You just took the podcast to the next level of we went classic right now. But in our lives, the tragedy, the falling in love, the birth of a child, the loss of a job, the ups and downs of the financial system, the fires in California, which we send all of our love to all of the
Yes.
people there. It's incredible. I have a lot of friends that are, shout out to them, that are rescuing animals, that are helping people, that are bringing water. Thank you so much. Big shout out to them.
Yes.
And all the things that are going on in the world, every single piece of joy, of sadness, of sorrow, of darkness, it creates a symphony of human nature. It creates the symphony of humankind. So when we approach our experiences on life instead of with judgment, because that's when the director ceases to do its work. The director of an orchestra, I have my one of my uncles, Manuel de la Flor, is an extraordinary pianist. He used to be the pianist for the Kremlin in Russia.
Wow.
And so I've seen that the director, what it does, if you see his movements or her movements in their hand are so delicate, so flowing. It's a ballet dance in the hand. So
Yes.
when we try to control, we kind of go off note, and that's when we feel that the music is not playing, but that's not true. And with that, we can use Beethoven as an example, that even when he turned deaf, once you get the rhythm, once you understand that everything in creation is really a masterpiece directed by creation, by God, by source consciousness, whatever you want to call this infinite divine intelligence, in the favor of you, in the favor of summoning the power of your soul to create even more greatness, then, the metaphor now of Beethoven, who went deaf, then you have continuous musical, extraordinary pieces emanating from within, emanating from your soul. And your life becomes a better quality. Your musical pieces become such an invitation for others to love more, to dance more, and to keep on dancing forward.
Absolutely.
I don't know if we covered the 3 points, but we were really, I think you and I need to do like a podcast on art or something. You were really a lover of art.
Yes.
Now I get it why my house, I programmed my robot Alexa with the mantras consistently. I'm so disciplined. And then I was like, wow, I love this musical, classical music. But I was like, my Alexa robot doesn't work. I didn't know it was you.
It was me. I had a conversation with
awesome.
Alexa too.
Oh my gosh. But then this is imputing joy. So did we cover all the points?
Yes.
I hope you know that the people that are listening, Sebe, they let us know what type of music are they playing. When it's a drama life, when it's sadness, when it's joy, when it's anger. What type of musician can you relate it to? What type of musical you want to create? Not all of the time we're going to create comedic musicals.
No.
Sometimes it's fun. Sometimes we're going to create such refinement. And sometimes we're going to create these very dense spaces of sorrow. But if we take everything in our creation as a divine piece, an orchestration of the divine, I'm going to tell you, the ride is going to be so much easier. And the way that our music is going to be shared in humankind will transcend time.
Absolutely. Well, thank you once again for a fun podcast this time. I enjoy speaking about classical music because I grew up with a lot of classical music around me, and apparently so did you. So yes, let's do one on art later on. But for now, we'll leave it at this. And thank you for everyone for listening to this podcast number 28. Life is a musical. Choose your music according to your emotions, and vice versa. you can
dance your own song. Dance your own song, guys. Don't miss out on your own song of your soul for dancing the tunes or songs of others. Choose to sing, to dance, to live the musical that you direct, that you participate in. This is your one life. Make it count.
Amen. We will speak to you next week. Bye-bye.
Subscribe to this weekly podcast on iTunes, Google Play, or Stitcher. Share your thoughts with us on Facebook.com/Sheepless Life Academy and learn firsthand how to live a sheepless life with Yvonne and receive an exclusive in-depth masterclass at sheeplesslife.com.